we go. We'll look even older. All right. Welcome back to the Rock and Roll channel. We're back 2 weeks later. Me and Stevie Breech. I was out last week, but Steve, welcome back. You're not a guest anymore. Like, I hope you know that. Like, you're officially like a co-host / like whatever you want to call yourself.
I'm trying to get the Wednesday night ratings, man. I want to get some people in here. I want to have some fun.
I know, me too. It's more fun when we get comments and everything, and we can like banter with people. I always say that. I see we got 4 off the bat, which is great, and we're also on Twitter tonight too, Steve.
Oh, okay.
This is being streamed to my Twitter. So
there we go. Awesome.
So that's a cool thing too. So it's the first time we're there too. I don't think we won't be able to see Twitter comments pop up, but people can watch the show there. And at some point I'm gonna add my IG as well, and we're gonna go 3 different directions. So I can't say I've been like totally up on the wrestling game. Shoot,
I don't blame you. Then you won a championship. With the time I win a championship with my Sacramento Kings, I'm gonna call out of work for a week. I'm just you're not even know where I'm at.
It's like that with the Panthers, man. It's like insane. What a run! What a cup run! I know this is probably not the hockey crowd, but it's like that, man. And like seeing how they're partying like makes us fans like want to like do the same. And this is a party town, Fort Lauderdale, Miami. So it's just been, if your Kings win a title, man, I just say go all out. I didn't do that for the Heat as much. I mean, I don't know. This Panther run's doing, because the Panther players are out kind of partying with the fans too. NBA players don't really do that.
Yeah.
Kind of different. And I'm not saying I still remember Bobby Jackson going into the crowd with that lady who was dying for the loose ball, and she gave him a kiss on the head.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was one of my favorite things ever. But we'll go on to wrestling. But thank you for understanding. Because Steve has had to put up with my hockey schedule. Not that I play, obviously, but like, hey, the Panthers play tonight. No way I can go on. No way I can go on. Or he'd go on a Tuesday, or he'd be like, we'll do it. So thank you, Steve, for being so understanding about this cup run the last 2 months.
Oh, no worries.
I wanted to make sure I properly thanked you. But yeah, we will talk a little wrestling, and I'll give my 2 cents too. But I'm gonna definitely lean on you tonight. Night of Champions. Before we even get into all that, we'll talk AEW. Is it still on for Saudi?
As far as I know, they're leaving today. And there was no news coming out saying what it was. I'm not the biggest news guy in the world, but I guess they signed some sort of like a ceasefire sort of a agreement where they're not going to be shooting missiles at each other. Yeah. I guess that's good for them. WWE makes a lot of money off of this deal with Saudi Arabia. It's one of the main sponsors they have. They have these 2 shows twice a year. I understand them going, but like to me, just a wrestling fan, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. I wouldn't want to be going over there messing around in the Middle East that much.
No, I wouldn't either. And it makes me think 2 years ago when things were, I guess, okay. When the plane was grounded there.
Oh, that's where all the wrestlers were tweeting they didn't know what was going on. That they were trying to just pass it off as the plane needed maintenance, or they needed.
Vince was gone, long gone.
Something funny happened there, and
there was a holdup over money because they cut the feed early. WWE, they were upset about something, and they cut the feed early.
Yeah, but I mean, like some wrestlers started talking, saying like the story would come out. It's never really came out. I don't know. I don't know how they've kept it under wraps.
I don't think I could have. I would have been so angry. I'd have been that guy like revolting on the plane. But so I did. What was it? Friday night. I can't remember. But anyway, I did catch the John Cena pipe bomb, the 2025 14-year anniversary pipe bomb. And I understand Cena's always been one of the, I guess, top 5 all time on the mic. I think you'd agree with me there. This was like that like in his retirement, just show that. That good, in my opinion.
Gut feeling when it first happened was it was corny. I didn't like it. Okay. I think when they kind of did the package of it on Monday Night Raw, and they kind of split it up a little bit, I paid more attention to the stuff that he said that wasn't just twisting Punk's words around, where he was insulting Punk. And those were good lines. I mean, like talking about how Punk talks a good game on Twitter, but he's backing up on his word. They can't come out and tell you the storyline for this match is that CM Punk has said very bad things about WWE going to Saudi Arabia. And when Punk wanted the match, Cena's way of trying to get out of the match was saying you have to come to Saudi Arabia to do it.
Yeah.
He's sort of exposing CM Punk for being a big hypocrite. And maybe them making a storyline out of it makes it a little bit easy, because the people who don't like to really say nice things about WWE are ripping CM Punk to shreds. And I think that honestly he deserves it, because everybody's got to back their word up. And especially if you're going to break your word, you at least got to
then show up at protests.
And he hasn't really said anything.
And then show up at some protests, which is his right. It's his God-given right. It's a First Amendment.
Yeah.
But here you are making those comments, then going against your words, and then showing up at a protest.
Yeah.
Where's that? To me, that is kind of hypocritical. I don't care. It's business. That's why Cena's line the other night, where you're not just TKO, you're Mr. TKO.
Yeah.
I thought that was just gold. And I understand Cena can push the envelope with Punk more than the average person because of how long they go back in their relationship. But I thought it was just gold.
Yeah, I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah.
I think I was mostly mad about the fact that I believed we were going to get a real John Cena match on SmackDown. I thought that was going to be one of the biggest SmackDowns they had in a long time.
You were excited for it, man.
And like the R-Truth match felt like minutes, and he just clunked him with the championship, and that was it. And they only used it to set up this promo with CM Punk. So I felt like I got robbed a little bit. But it was a good show. I think overall, this Night of Champions pay-per-view, I think there's going to be 2 really good matches on it. But if you're going to, like if worst comes to worst, you got to skip a show, this might be one that, at the end of the day, doesn't mean a whole lot. I mean, watch the Orton versus Cody match, watch Cena versus Punk, and you're going to know everything you need to know before Monday.
Yeah, it's like they have to give the Saudis a good show before SummerSlam, which is fine. It's business. I get it. But I'm starting to fall into that trap, and I'm sure I've talked about it, is when it's just overload and just so much stuff going on in wrestling. It's almost like you almost take a step back and say, I can only watch so much. And I'm finding that right now in WWE. That's why I hope after SummerSlam, things calm down for a little.
They go right back to Paris for Clash of Paris.
They're doing that European run.
Yeah, so it's like
another
show. Hey, get your Peacock's worth of your subscription. I mean, it's well worth it. Anybody who doesn't subscribe to Peacock for the WWE Network.
And they're always giving specials out, man. Like, people need to know that. Like, they're always like $4 a month, $3. You go to cancel it, and they'll be like, you want it free for $3? I mean, they deal, Peacock.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's going to be wrestling. It's going to be a show. I mean, I'm not calling anybody out. I mean, the reason why I'm being negative, Jeremy, hopefully you can really understand. My girlfriend has told me that she has made plans. We are going blueberry picking Saturday morning.
Nice.
I've never been blueberry picking in my life. I put up a fight. We can go to the store and I'll buy you as many blueberries as you want. But I have been told I'm going blueberry picking. I'm probably going to end up watching this show late. As long as I don't go on Twitter, I'll be all right. But it's going to be hard.
I'm glad you told me that. I will not text you anything. But that being said, that's the beautiful thing of a Peacock or a Netflix. You watch it at your convenience.
Yeah.
In the old days, it was you had to buy the pay-per-view. You could record it, but it just wasn't. You didn't know if it would record properly because
the VHS trick.
It was a different animal. Everything's at your convenience now. The other night we were doing the talking shop thing. I was like, I'll go watch it later on Netflix.
There we go.
I don't have to worry about DVRing. Same with Peacock.
It is awesome.
I like that.
It's really cool. I mean, the one negative thing more than anything else is just social media. Is just like, if you use it, you use it, but it's hard to remove yourself when you need to keep spoilers out of your hands.
It's funny you say that. I used to be in this Facebook group for wrestling fans. Go figure. And I knew the person who ran it. Anyway, not to bore you with this, but it was during pay-per-views. We'd go on the Facebook group and like make comments about something.
Yeah.
So like 3 people started arguing, saying, no talking about the pay-per-view. And I was like, well, why are you on Facebook? What do you expect? And they're like, we couldn't watch it tonight. And how do you expect us to stay off Facebook? Like, so a huge argument broke out, like back and forth. And finally, the moderator had to say, okay, no discussing the pay-per-view till like 10 a.m. the next day or something.
Oh man. I can remember when I was a loyal Comcast subscriber for a long time. I was with them longer than I should have been. I just was holding on because it was like I'd always had Comcast. I always wanted to have them. But all of a sudden, one day, probably around 2011, they just dumped the West Coast, East Coast feed. Like you used to be able to watch channels, certain, not all channels, but you used to watch USA. They would give it to
Oh, of
you
course.
East Coast feed, they give it to you West Coast feed, so you could pick which one you wanted to watch. And all of a sudden, we just couldn't watch live wrestling anymore, and they wanted us to wait until whatever. And it's like we can't wait because people on Twitter are telling us everything that's going on, let alone WWE's tweeting
Right.
out clips and pictures of
Yeah, you got to stay off YouTube.
everything that
It
happens.
pops right up in your feed.
Yeah, so it's like we had to go out and find like illegal streams. Thank you, WMR, to be able to follow along
Right.
with what was going on.
No, I hear you. That's why you watch at your convenience. And I think it's what, 9 a.m. your time out there?
Yeah.
You can't, I mean, that kind of eliminates a lot of watch parties.
Mm.
They'll come to my house. I'll be there at 8:30. Like, oh, so I get it.
For you guys on the East Coast, though, man, you guys could say, like show up. You could have lunch. I mean, you
Yeah,
already
it's normal time.
grill something like
Yeah,
that. You
grill. Some
can't be
people,
eating eggs and wrestling at the same
I
time.
think you can. I think you can. But then again, I'm the guy who loves breakfast for lunch and dinner.
There you go.
Oh, I would never complain there. I could do Waffle House and wrestling any day.
Hmm.
But that being said, so have you watched Raw the other night? What's your
Oh yeah.
your product? Like, please give us a
Really, really good match. Cody Rhodes versus Jey Uso. We had our semifinals for the King and Queen of the Rings. That was probably like the two biggest matches of the whole night. Chad Gable ended up getting beat up in the back by Penta. It seemed like almost out of the middle of nowhere. The one thing that I'm taking from that more than anything else is that like as Gable was kind of like laying on the ground selling his injury after getting beat up, we see Ludwig Kaiser, who we haven't seen on Raw in a long time. I don't think we've seen him since before WrestleMania 41, kind of just looking over and noticing that Gable was hurt. I know that they have sold a lot of masks for El Grande Americano, and I don't even think they've shipped yet. I think that people aren't even going to be able to get them in their hands until July. I think it would be awesome if, to save this gimmick, they just let Kaiser start going out there and wrestling as El Grande Americano. Maybe even change the mask just a little bit to make Imperium or something like that on there. But I think that would be awesome.
Hold on 160. Sorry, I hit the wrong button.
Oh,
There you go. Now we're back. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. I'm playing around with things, but that's cool stuff, man. I think wrestling's about to pick up now.
Oh.
NHL's over, NBA's over. This is their time to shine.
Mm.
Baseball doesn't really seem to conflict with wrestling as much.
Baseball is play almost every day. It seems like you play 5 games a week.
Right.
If you miss a game today, you just pick it up tomorrow.
Right, and the biggest series are always on weekends.
Yeah.
So maybe a pay-per-view, but not really like Monday Night Raw or Dynamite on Wednesday.
It doesn't become must-see television until the playoffs come.
But we do have to talk about one thing, and this is something we speculated months ago. I'm going to toot our horns here. We did talk about the possibility of Goldberg coming back. I think we even talked about this before Mania. You brought it up. We talked about it. So shout out to you here. Unfortunately, it came true.
Opposite sides.
What's your take on the Goldberg Gunther? I know we talked about it a little bit, but please, like,
I know we've already talked about how cool it is that everything's at our fingertips now. Like literally, Raw was on. It was probably like 5:05, and my buddy called me on Monday and asked me if I could go to the A's game with him. He had an extra ticket, so I had to drive to downtown Sacramento. It's like a 20-minute drive from here. I wasn't watching it. I swear to you, I was not watching it. But I had Raw playing through my stereo in my car, and I was listening to the Goldberg return, and I was chanting.
Were
I, I
you?
I thought it was awesome.
That's
I
awesome.
thought it was so cool. If it like I'll give you this. His shirt, it says Goldberg's last ride.
Right.
Okay, to me, like if you're gonna say it's the last ride and not the last match, I give it to you. You might get 2 matches. If it's only like Saturday night's main event, or maybe we get SummerSlam, I'm good.
I heard WWE did announce it's his last match.
Yeah, but if it ends like in like I'm thinking like the match is gonna end in some sort of tomfoolery, and that's
Could be.
gonna get us
What's
to SummerSlam. I think that would be awesome, but no more after that. I'm good. But I
enough of
don't
this guy?
know in this world of 50-50 booking that we've been in WWE, like once Goldberg's done, who's the next legend that like they're gonna bring back every now and then? I don't think they got anybody.
Jericho. Jericho.
Ugh,
Daniel, what's up, buddy? Thank you for jumping on, man.
there we go.
I think I don't know. I do listen to the dirt sheets every now and then, the rumor mills. I mean, can't help it.
Yeah.
And they talked about that on Conan and Disco Show.
Mhm.
And they didn't speculate that he would do it, but I guess Jericho did an interview on a music show, Eddie Trunk,
Mhm.
and they asked him, "What are you up to these days?" And he said, "Well, I wrestle for AEW," and Eddie Trunk didn't even know the company.
Mhm.
Jericho didn't even really go out of his way to say All Elite Wrestling out of Jacksonville, Tony
Mhm.
Khan. He really didn't. Rumor is his contract's up in December.
Has he had a match since he lost the Ring of Honor title on that pay per
He's
view?
been on the Fozzy tours and the Guardians of the Jukebox and
Oh, okay.
his podcast. Or he hasn't. I don't think so.
I mean,
Didn't they write him off? Didn't he take like a beating and then leave or something?
I think he just lost the title, and that was it. That's the last time I remember seeing
Yeah, same here.
a day to day
So
kind of thing.
I think deep down he wants a proper WWE exit.
I just Tony's
And I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm
yeah.
just
I
saying.
don't think I mean, I don't sign the checks. To me, it don't matter if he's in WWE or AEW.
He's
I
that
just
rare. I'm sorry.
I don't see him leaving. Like
Yeah,
I just like because Tony's gonna pay him until the day he dies.
right. That's the thing. Is Tony going to back up the brain struck again for him?
Mhm.
He's not using him as much as he used to. I hate to say, not as valuable on TV. But
Mhm.
when Tony got him in 2018 or 2019, he was the hottest free agent. He was
He got paid double whatever he got paid. That first run he had was
it was iconic. He doesn't have that effect that he did
Mhm.
3-4 years ago. It's the truth. I mean, look at the storylines he's been in. Look at what he's been doing. Not
Mhm.
saying he can't redo it and make it gold because he's got a history of doing that.
Yeah.
But if there was a time to like say, hey, man, I've done everything for AEW, now it's time for me just to have my finish in
Mhm.
WWE. I think now's the time.
Yeah.
He's not on like the top of the card and then leaving.
Mhm.
And he probably saw Cody. He probably seen some other people and say, look what they're doing there.
Mhm.
Now, what makes him different is a lot of guys, the Hall of Fame is so important to them. So when they go to meet and greets and WrestleCons and all that,
Mhm.
they can charge more
Yeah.
because it looks great to have WWE Hall of Famer next to your name.
Yeah.
It means more money.
I
He doesn't need that. He does not need that.
I'm just dreaming up like if Jericho came back, like what do you do with them? And I think I would be pumped to see a Jericho versus Cody match. Like Jericho saying, like, I need to beat you. And that meant I had to come here because you
Yeah.
left where I was. And he could even throw in there because you were scared of me. Or you
Yeah.
couldn't get over because I was there. Something like that.
I like that. Obviously, we don't know his status. Jericho had always said if he went back to WWE or stayed in WWE, he was going to have to do the Kevin Owens match again. We don't know.
We don't even know if we're gonna see Kevin Owens
We
again.
don't know. So that's why I'm just saying that was always one. That was another reason he was interested in. He loved New Japan and he was interested in AEW when that idea came up because he's like, I can do new things. I can do different things.
Yeah.
In WWE, they own the rights to the list. Might do the list again. Now he's the type of guy that always wants to reinvent himself and do. We're only on the Chris Jericho show tonight, and do different things. So he may not even care there. I'd just love to have him have a proper send off there. I think he's done everything he could do in AEW. Now AEW would have been great if R-Truth doesn't get re-signed. He'd have been great in AEW because they do good with the 50+ crowd.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they're big on, like, we have the best wrestlers in the world, and
Yeah.
we've also got the best wrestlers that you remember. We've got all the names from the past. I think that's kind of like what their driving force is. And that's kind of honestly what WCW was too.
Christian, Adam Copeland, Jericho, Daniels had matches in his 50s there.
Mm-hmm.
Good ones, like really good ones. I think he'd have been fine there, R-Truth. But I'm glad he's back. I'm glad he's happy doing his thing there.
Yeah,
he's getting to do stuff that he hasn't got to do in forever. Be a serious wrestler. I just hope the other night wasn't like writing him off.
Well, no, the last SmackDown, he was acting a fool because he wanted to beat up John Cena,
Right.
and he was about to get into it with Aleister Black, and then Damian Priest came and kind of like separated them, and it seemed like Priest wants to take like R-Truth like under his wing. Like they're not going to be like Judgment Day 2.0, but it looks like they're going to be sort of allies.
Reunite.
Wherever Priest is, like Truth's going to be there.
I like that because they had chemistry together.
Mm-hmm.
Anything in WWE you want to add?
We'll
come back to it, of course, but just
I think that they've got two really big matches, and then other than like trying to put together the Judgment Day, they're going to throw out a Raquel Rodriguez versus Rhea Ripley street fight match on this Night of Champions pay-per-view that kind of came out of the middle of nowhere. I think they're trying to rehab the Judgment Day. They're probably trying to make the Liv Morgan thing get erased and like try to put the team back together as a cohesive unit. And I think that's going to be good. Every time we think this team is dead, they find a way to get it back together.
I mean, right now Dom is clicking on all cylinders. I think he heard our talk when you said when you were kind of like, I think he's cooled off.
Yeah,
because all he's done is just be red hot, in my opinion.
I don't know when Liv.
He heard you, Steve.
Yeah, when Liv started the show with him 2 weeks ago, I don't know what they did to rile up the crowd before the show started live, but they didn't let him get a word out. And every time he tried to talk, they got louder and louder and louder. So I don't know where they were going, but for a while we were thinking maybe they were going to turn them babyface. I don't know. I don't think that's the plan anymore.
He's too good like that. Why ruin a good thing? But I'm not Mr. TKO. AEW, I know you're like me in this boat. We're really not up on the product as much, so we're not going to act like experts or they should do this or they should do that. But we're getting closer to All In. We've given our opinion on how they handled the situation. It's easy for me to say that when I'm not writing the checks. But that being said, Okada Omega. Here's my 2 cents on it, and I'd love to hear your 2 cents after it. Those two are gold together. We know that. Dave Meltzer reinvented his star system over these two. Why do you have to do this whole Don Callis, make him go heel and act old school WWE in a way?
Yeah.
Why can't you just say, I think I'm the best. No, I'm the best. Let's do this one more time.
Yeah. Don Callis is the guy that I've never really got.
He's good.
Ever since the first time I saw him in AEW, I just whatever he was doing with the Bucks and Omega when they were kind of, it was like splitting them apart or whatever it was. The guy's just a sleazy slime ball. I'm supposed to hate him, but I hate him more than I'm supposed to. Like I just don't like the guy. Anytime that he comes around, I kind of just like, ugh.
Right. I like him. I mean, listen, who knows? Maybe that's Kenny who wanted it because Kenny's known the guy since he was 16, 17. They go back a long time. So I don't know whose idea it was, whose story. I don't know. This match is one of those rare matches that doesn't need these three guys have made him turn heel. Like, you just don't need that.
Yeah.
One of these rare times where you just say Okada, Omega, one more time, All In. Done. I saw that. I said, what was the point here?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to know the reasoning behind it. I get it. I just like they can ruin anything these days. There.
I, I don't know. The more we get close to it, I think it's gonna be cool to see Hangman win against I almost called him Ambrose right there, but Moxley. And I think I'm warming up to the fact of where they're going. But
which means they're doing a good job.
But I don't know. Like at this point, like I don't want to get painted as an AEW hater or anything like that. And this show is going to be a big show. I got no cares to watch this show. If I watch it, I watch it. If I don't feel like I've really missed anything. Because I think like come Wednesday, it's just gonna be the same old stuff again. I don't think this is gonna be like a day that we remember like WrestleMania 14, where they finally put it all together and it worked, and now Raw is just going on a run.
I mean, let's look at it like this. Schedules aside, everything aside, if AEW was the product we would like it to be, we're not doing our show at this time. We're saying, well, we got to watch AEW.
Yeah.
We don't even care that it's on during AEW right now. Now, yes, whatever, man. This is a better night for you, me, whatever. It's all that. If we loved AEW enough, we would not want to do it at this time.
Oh, I get you.
So what is that saying? We don't do it on Mondays during Raw.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
coverage.
And then I love the MJF thing. I don't get the whole Hurt Syndicate thing. I don't get any of it. I've heard the Arena Mexico show. I was out of town last week. I couldn't watch it. It was really I had a friend say
in my mind, they're just gonna use MJF up until MJF realizes that he's being used, and then he'll turn on him. But how long do we have to sit here and wait? So many times AEW, they just have the slowest burn of like, we know where you're getting, just hurry up and get there.
Yeah. It's almost like part 2 of like how MJF was with the Inner Circle. Found his way in there, infiltrated them, and started his own group.
Oh yeah.
I didn't think he was a faction guy after that. I don't think he's a faction guy here.
Awesome. The Pinnacle gets no respect because
those guys hated it, not MJF. If you've ever heard, I'm sorry, we can get into let's get into the Pinnacle talk. I used to listen to Dax Harwood's podcast every week, and him, Cash, and Sean Spears, like at a show, went in depth into why they regret doing that storyline so much. They screwed it up every which way possible. It could have been great.
I think if they would have used them like the freaking 4 Horsemen or something like that, they could have won. What do they call it? Bloodsport? Not Bloodsport. What's their freaking war games called?
Oh yeah. I know.
They should have won that match, and then they just started beating everybody like that.
That was what they said too. I'm going to repeat what he said. I'm glad you said that. He talked about that. He said his issues. They said because he got that in a question one day. They said, "What do you think about Pinnacle?" Well, I wish I had never done it. Because Dax is very he can't hold back. And his reasons made sense. He said, "Here we are, veterans. Me, Mac, me, Cash, Sean. Max did not want to hear any input from us." He said, that's what he said. I'm not saying it. He just said Max, he was hard to deal with there.
At that time, he was so over and he knew it.
He's 24, 25. Like, I understand. So he said they had that issue. And Cash gave a good counterpoint to this. Dax said, once, I think it was the second week of the storyline or third week, when remember the Inner Circle beat them up in their locker room and took their locker room?
Yeah. They opened the door and they were all waiting there. So they tried to go the other way and then they were waiting there.
Yeah. He said once we got jumped and our butts kicked like that, it was a wrap. He goes, we should have beat them up every week.
Yeah.
Won the first Blood and Guts.
Yeah.
Blood and Guts match. And then had the blow off at All or Nothing.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Double or nothing. Or gone past that. He goes, but we should have been those guys every week. And then Cash's answer to that was, yeah, that's typical wrestling. Would have made the most sense. But we were also living in a COVID time. People are going through real rough and sad times. And if his heel faction every week is just destroying the baby faces, are we going to make people more sad on Wednesday nights? Okay, Dax, like I see your point there, but it was interesting when they were shooting about that time.
Yeah, that whole team is awesome. Sean Spears was a guy that I really, really liked. That guy's a good hand.
Wardlow was great.
His run in NXT. But I mean, he never got a real run anywhere else. And I was sucked. At least he's doing it now in NXT again. I just wish
he's a good worker. He's got a presence. He's always been great on the mic, and he's that guy where if you can't have a good match with him, you can't have a good match with anybody.
Yeah,
he's one of those rare guys like that. I mean, Cody has been putting him over for 20 years.
Oh,
but, it's funny you brought up Pinnacle because I was just thinking about that the other day. I thought that was going to be such a great faction.
Mm-hmm. And they were just like, they were here today, they were gone tomorrow, and never talked about again.
That's the absolute truth. When they debuted them that night on Dynamite, it was awesome. Even with no crowd there, pretty much, it was.
Hey,
awesome.
What's going on with Wardlow? Is the guy just like always hurt, or do they just not like to use him?
I think it's almost like a Mariah May, or he's WWE bound.
But when was the last time he wrestled?
I don't know. Sometimes they tell you to sit home until your contract runs out.
I don't
deal. I don't know. He posted the other day like he was at some cryogenic place. Or I don't know. He has had his injuries. Who doesn't? But yeah, I think it's almost like we're keeping you off TV because we know you're leaving. I could be wrong. The rumors haven't come out. The Mariah May was reported for months she was leaving.
Yeah, I didn't even believe him that hurt him so long ago.
Yeah, and they pretty much made that a done deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. Breaking news. This is not wrestling related. Dallas Mavericks have selected Cooper Flag with the #1 pick. Shocker, everybody! Shocker.
I got the draft on above me with no sound, but it's been hard to follow. But
I'm sorry.
My Kings don't have a pick. Like we traded our pick 2 years ago for this point guard from Atlanta, Kyle Huter. He had one good season, and then like he just disappeared like Wardlow, and we're paying. I don't know. Like we got so many guys that we got hoodwinked. Like you want this guy, and we're like, oh, he was a good player 5 years ago. We got a whole team of that.
Yeah.
So we suck.
The NBA, you can't do that because then you're picking up contracts.
Yeah.
But all right. So we talked. Anything you want to talk about in wrestling right now? I'm kind of running out of things. I know I'm behind on the product. Anything that's on your mind? Anything you've seen lately? Please, like.
Nah. Honestly, pretty much. I'm not sure. I keep dreaming about like what they're gonna do with the Cena title run. I don't think he's losing at Night of Champions. It's gonna be DQ finish, just like all the other ones we've seen. No. Even if Cody wins against Orton, I don't think he's beating him because Cena's coming right back and doing that Paris trip, and I don't see him going there without the title. I don't know.
Match could be him losing the title.
I just wonder how. I just wonder where we go from here, and I think that's honestly what's so fun is that just dreaming up different scenarios of like what they're gonna do.
No, I hear you there. I just thought of this.
Mm-hmm.
I could just see like his last match, and that's where he loses the belt, and or even close to it, and The Rock comes out disappointed.
Oh,
and. Not that I care about Dwayne, trust me, I don't. But The Rock come out disappointed, kind of like a Hogan with NWO thing, where Rock and his people jump him. People come to say Cena, he leaves babyface, like do it in Boston, like, something like that.
Yeah,
have a full circle moment. Rock's a long game guy. He loves the long game. So from Elimination Chamber to December. It would be a long game. What do you think about that scenario? Rock has to, at some point, say something.
The Rock is like a 4-letter word to me when it comes to WWE.
Me too.
Like either like
you put him in a storyline that we haven't seen him in since.
Yeah, I mean, he's coming back someday. It's not like they removed him from the board or anything like that. The guy's the boss. He can do whatever he wants to whenever he wants.
He hasn't had a match in 2025, which is part of his deal, I think.
I, I I don't even know where you would use him. And if I'm him, like the way that we hear like the rumors swirling is like, why would he even show up there and not get to do what he wants to do? Like, are they going to screw him or something like that? I don't really know. I just
Yeah, I think there's
don't
a power
think it
struggle going
benefits
on.
WWE him showing up, and I don't think it benefits him going to WWE. So I just think just keep them like separated until you have a really, really good idea. Um, the Cena storyline, people are starting to turn on it. Like people are starting to understand. Maybe it was the pipe bomb, but it sounds like people are starting to get it. So I wouldn't try to muddy the waters there.
I think that special moment was at Backlash.
Yeah.
It did not look like a work when he was looking at the crowd in a way like,
Hmm.
man, the Orton crowd in St. Louis is saying thank you, Cena.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool for him. Yeah, I think he's honestly he's a heel babyface at this point. He's getting better at it every week. I don't know if you saw from the beginning when he first was talking to the mic as a heel to now, it's night and day.
Now he's not using that fake actor voice.
Yes.
He's just talking like John Cena. I don't know if that's his real life, if he's in the grocery store talking to people voice, or like or if that's just a voice that he's always used for John. But like whatever he's doing now works because it's what we're used to. And we believe that he's really saying whatever it is, and he's not just reading it off his cue card or something like that.
So let's talk about something because we touched on it earlier and we went talking shop and my fault there.
Yeah.
So one of our reasons for Jay, we thought dropping the belt was he needed some rest, which he's got none of. So it was to put Gunther against Goldberg.
Yeah.
I'm sick of Goldberg. One of the guys, shout out one of the guys in the Talking Shop Patreon group, I have to give him credit. He thinks, and it makes sense to me, is that Goldberg wants to get his son an NIL deal.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Because they've done it for Scott Steiner's kid, they did it for Mark Henry's kid, and somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't think Goldberg has to wrestle to like get that deal
because
he's a Hall of Famer or a legend. But it makes a lot of sense. He's like, I'm doing this for my kid, and he's always said he wants that one last match.
I think that is what it is. I think more than anything else, he wants it, and I think that is why he's doing it. He wants to put an exclamation point on his career, not only for him. I think he has fans out there that love him enough that remember the good old days that want one more. I mean, and WWE doesn't want him doing it in AEW, and I don't think he wants to do it in some rinky-dink, a back road indie against Ryback or something like that. You put him in a match where it looks like he has a chance to win the championship, and he's going to go down against one of the biggest stars of today.
Yeah, I mean Gunther's phenomenal.
Yeah,
I think that makes sense. And think about it like this: and I'm actually being nice to him here. TKO doesn't know Goldberg. Well, now they do because he showed up on TV twice. Excuse me. But that being said, this could open doors for his son in the future if he wants to be a wrestler. Now, Triple H knows Goldberg, whatever. But now he's going to build a relationship with TKO and that board and these people. Open doors for his son. The odds of his son going to the NFL, I don't know. Never great. Goldberg knows, man. The NFL is not for long.
He's a Sacramento Surge legend playing for the World Football League here in Sacramento.
Yeah.
I don't think he was on the championship team, but the team also.
We should come back for Biggie. We don't need Biggie getting hurt again. But I like that. But I think he's opening doors for his son, NIL, potential wrestling deal in the future. Now, like I'm said, Goldberg's name is enough to carry weight. I understand, but TKO doesn't care about how great Goldberg was in the past.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense there. I don't like it because I can't stand the guy anymore. And it's personal reasons for that because he was so rude one day in New Orleans to everybody for no reason.
I think it's been, in my mind, it's been 2 years since his last match against Roman Reigns. It's been 5 years since he beat Kevin Owens, or did he beat the Fiend? I think he beat
6 years, and then it was 8 for Owens.
Yeah, and I mean, 2016 was
They did
Survivor
the Brock matches, the two Brock
Brock.
matches, and the
That was a
Ziggler
long
match,
time ago, man.
and the Ziggler.
The guy's 59 years old. I mean, this
Is he
match,
really?
it's yeah, it's not going longer than
Yeah.
8 minutes. 8
No,
minutes.
and
tops.
Gunther will protect him.
Yeah.
He'll do the right thing. I think it makes sense. I mean, they've built this match for a while.
Mhm.
Don't the folks inside? They sure do. They sure do. And I got a funny story about that. You're absolutely right, and they help. He's absolutely right, Daniel, about them requesting legends. 100%. That's why Goldberg did the Undertaker match there,
Mhm.
and he did the Roman match. But remember, you probably heard the story about Vince McMahon in the suite there.
Yeah.
I'll tell those people who don't know the story. So, like when they were negotiating the deal to get WWE there, they put Vince in this suite in his hotel. The suite's the size of a football field, and they're meeting with him and they're making requests for wrestlers. And the first thing they said was, "Well, we want the guy who shakes the ropes."
He did.
He was like, "Ultimate Warrior, I don't think we can get him." Well, what about big sumo guy, Yokozuna? I don't think we can get him either. So I think it was like 4 or 5 guys where Vince had to say, "That's yeah."
They asked for Andre.
They asked for. Oh, I forgot about that one. They asked for Andre. It reminded me of every time I hear that story, I think about us in the cab ride in Vegas.
Oh God, I felt so bad for that guy.
What a
Like,
nice
come on,
guy.
name one person who's alive.
Named 7 guys. He's like, "Yeah, isn't WrestleMania here this weekend?" And you're like, "Yeah, that's why we're here. We're going talking shop now, going off the rails. That's okay." And Steve's like, "Yeah, that's why we're here. He came from Florida. I came from California." And he goes, "Awesome." And he named 8 guys in a row that were not with us anymore.
Mhm.
Finally, in like the 9th or 10th, he got somebody. We were cheering like.
I don't want to open up
He's like
that
the
can
second
of
one.
worms, but oh man, he didn't even know that story.
We were like, "You don't know the story from 18 years ago?" He goes, "No." That was just as we're starting to. We're like, I told him, "Please name somebody. Like, we can't end on this one." I said, Yeah, we didn't talk about that in the Vegas recap, but what a story that was. That was the first night we hung out there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we said, man, the night. There's a story for the night. But anything you want to add, man? I know we're running short. I think it's a little slow right now.
We're all good, man. We're all good.
Oh, good. Okay.
I'm excited about this show. I just don't think it's going to be the biggest show of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as they got on the plane and they're flying over there, SmackDown should be good. You got 2 women's championship matches. One of them's a woman's. How do I say it right? Well, basically, you got to pick them up until they can't get up.
Yeah.
Last woman standing. That's how I say it. And then you have the tag titles on the line. I mean,
I was like, oh, great.
SmackDown.
I was all happy Bailey wasn't going to be there. And then I'm actually going to try to watch the NHL draft this week. And then she does a promo saying, "I'm announcing the picks for the San Jose Sharks."
Oh, there you go.
I said, but man, thank you once again, Steve. Anything you want to? Any thoughts? Wrestling thoughts on your mind? Anything in the world of Stevie Breech you want to promote? Anything, please.
Man, I'm all good. As long as there's news, I'll be talking about something over there.
Yeah, check out Steve's channel. I'm gonna put the link there. He does a great job of. Man, I loved your what was it? You did a monster review the other day.
Oh
yeah. Like if any new cookies come out or monster drinks or something or Doritos, like, this is your guy, man. He does great reviews along with his wrestling content and stuff, man. Like I feel like I'm lucky. I'm so lucky to have him here because he brings that insight to this show. So it's like such a great help.
You got it, man. Anytime you know I'll be there.
Thanks as always. Got Night of Champions this week, getting closer to All In, and let's have a good SummerSlam, man. Let's hope this all leads to a great SummerSlam. They were just in New York over the weekend at Fanatics promoting it. That's what I'm hoping. You got to bring your A game in New York, New Jersey.
Oh man, I mean that place looked like a zoo, man. I mean, I understand you buy a ticket there just to get an eye on your favorite like superstar or past sports player or something like that. But I mean, to be able to get close if you didn't buy an autograph ticket or like a picture ticket, like if you just want to see somebody, that it felt like you could see more if you're just at home. like following along all the
Oh,
videos
always.
posting out and things like that.
Like I love the Tom Brady Cody Rhodes thing. Did you see that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Kevin Hart, man, he's done a great job helping promoting wrestling.
I really liked. I haven't seen. Well, they probably haven't released the episode because they gotta like edit it and all that jazz. But CM Punk did the Kevin Hart show where they sat in the tub, and Punk was really talking some good stuff about Liv Morgan,
Really?
about how she basically was the MVP of WWE, not of women's wrestling, of WWE. I really felt like she was taking over the Monday Night Raw show, especially opening up the show with her own promo last week. But it just sucks that she just got injured, and he was saying that like she'll push through and she'll come back, and I just think it's cool that Punk just finds ways to put everybody else over on the roster.
Yeah, and God, I guess I'm putting over Dax Harwood used to talk about him that he would anonymously in AEW have like $50 Starbucks gift cards delivered to the female wrestlers.
That's really, really cool.
Write his name on it just
really,
as like
really cool.
Keep up the great work, and obviously coffee late to them on the road is like life.
Oh, yeah.
So he said, he goes, for all the criticism on Punk, like he's like, that's stuff you don't know about. He goes, I'm gonna say it because I know the guy, but I thought that was cool, like those stories. Like I think he does have a good heart. Sometimes he just gets away a little bit. But I don't know. From the minute he's come back to now, I think he was humbled by his time in AEW.
Yeah. I think
he had good worker
what he thought he was supposed to do as a wrestling star was not the right thing, and wrestling has changed from 2000. What is that? 2015, 2016.
From
he left till now.
14.
I mean, the wrestlers they don't go out partying and drinking. They go home and they play video games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's just a different world.
Yeah. I remember Batista in his book. I actually read that book. He was talking about Christian. The Christian wasn't really much of a drinker. And he said, I think he's pretty damn cool, man. You know what? I respect the run Punk's had this time. And I'm not saying I'm a fan because I've said too much harsh stuff in the past. He may or may not have blocked me on Twitter one time. But I respect this run he's had. And his promo, we didn't talk about it. I'm glad we segued. His promo was seen a week or two before was fantastic. The week before, Cena's pipe bomb. Fantastic.
Oh, I've said some pretty harsh things myself, but I didn't think the run was going to last as long as it has. I thought he would have been gone in a year.
I thought it was a payday.
Yeah, pretty much. Like he was going to go in there, do the wrong thing, get kicked out again, and just blow it.
I thought that too. Or not even do that, but just go in, have his couple matches, make his money, get his residuals, and after that, and leave. And he's made a difference in the company. Like he's one of those guys who they go to for advice. Wrestlers, first guy there, like, I really gotta stop this, but he's had a great run.
Yeah,
like even when he wasn't wrestling, he was coming doing commentary. He was coming there and helping out. He's been an asset to them,
big time.
Yeah, in addition to selling tickets and that stuff. So I think that's it from me, Steve. Anything in closing?
All good. I almost flipped you off. That's all
For me, it settled me out. But hey, Steve, thanks as always for coming on. If you watched this after, if you saw this on Twitter, drop us some comments still. One of us will get back to you because we do love to talk wrestling. Even though we say we're not up on it as usual, we can talk about it anytime. We talk randomly by text randomly all the time, wrestling wise. So take care. Thank you, everyone. And big week of wrestling coming up.
Big.